Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are based in the world. It is a pleasure to have you here. This week, we have another session here at ShapesXR with Paul's dog in the background joining. So that's also great. And Michael and Paul here. So, guys, nice to
Hi,
have you.
Hello.
Michael.
So we said we have a big announcement. We have a lot of stuff coming. So let's have an impromptu. Let's have some fun. Let's show what can be done. And this time, unlike what happened usually, I'm not gonna speak a lot. But I will mostly leave the floor to Paul and Michael, our XR designer, and what I would like to do is I think focus on some of the things we're going to discuss today, right? Or some of the things that they are going to show. So as of today, there is a new interactivity system that our users have been waiting for months, and we have done some incredible job. Michael, Paul, our own whole design team and development has done something incredible. So this is one of the core focus for today. And guys, is there anything else that we're going to show besides all the ShapesXR goodness?
I think we're going to show some MR, some mixed reality. We're show some interactivity. We're going to show, we might want to just show a little bit of our Hollow Notes, our commenting system that we just launched. And yeah, I mean, we could show some Figma import because we have some sweet Figma integration. If we have
Yes, and I mean, for everybody that is joining and is dropping in, I mean, they are asking for input, right? That's what you were saying. So if the folks that are listening or watching, they say, "Hey, why don't you add this? Hey, what if that could happen? Please share that with me, and I will be more than happy to kind of
if you have any feature requests, this is the time to share them.
Okay, for a feature request, that's another story, right? We know that list is always gonna get longer and longer. But without further ado, look, I don't want to waste any more of the viewers' time. What I would like to do is get the floor to Paul and Michael and get the design to speak for itself. So, and sometimes I might interrupt just to remind people that they can ask questions and provide their own input and maybe share any of the questions with Paul and Michael. So, guys, go ahead.
Yeah, man. All right. Are you seeing what I see?
We do.
Oh, it's me.
All right, Michael, you're in my chair. Look.
What do you know? I'm in my own chair as well.
Yes, so we're just hanging out here in my office here. This is where I work every day, over in Washington. And what I thought we would show is Michael and I creating a little mini game together, and then show off our interactivity system. So what do you want to do? Maybe and feel free to comment in the actually, let me turn this down. I'm feeding back a little bit.
If you could also mute yourself in Shapes, just because I hear you on both.
Oh, that's what it is. Yes. Okay. There we go.
By the way, guys, we have Andrea Plante. Says, wow, looking forward to see the new functionality. And there is Juan from London. Lloyd, good afternoon, everyone. And then Garrett, hey, chaps. So.
Okay.
Oh, what's up, Garrett?
London. What time is it in London?
7 o'clock.
It's late. All right. So I think maybe I'll make a little blaster.
Let me help you out with that. Let me give you a little trigger. Whoop.
Let's say there's like a little, you always got to have a little thingy on the side. Maybe we'll make that gray. Let me make this part like a darker gray. Ooh, yeah.
That was nice.
Nice. Oh, wait.
Let's make dope. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
There's a barrel. I'll add a barrel. And we'll put that here.
Oh, what if I add a little additive over here? So it looks kind of like an AR.
Ooh.
Thing.
And then I'll duplicate it so it's on both sides.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to duplicate that over there?
Yep.
Maybe we get a little, Let's see.
By the way, guys, we got a good audience here. We got Harold from Colombia. Happy to see with this great, and he's having great expectations, I think.
Good. We will not
Then we
disappoint. I'm pretty confident in this update. It's like it's fire. Like it's gonna be good.
All right, so I'm just gonna group this guy. Seems like a pretty nice little.
Here, you be the red team.
Oh yeah, red team.
Here, give me a copy.
A little big. Here, you can have a copy.
All right, I'm gonna be on the blue team. So let's set up some targets in your room, Paul.
All right, man. Here, I'm gonna go over here and put an object, or I'll just outline my wall so you can see where my wall is.
Oh, perfect.
And I'm not gonna move the space. We could do one, room scale 1-on-1 mode, but let's just do this for now.
So maybe I'm curious to ask everybody that is joining live, what could be the target? Do we have any idea for targets, or are we gonna settle with boring circle targets? Or you have?
We're gonna go with we're going with boring circular targets.
Well. Let's see what the audience think. Right? Let's not get over ourselves, please.
So here's Michael making us some targets. And over here, I'll just outline this wall over here so you can kind of see. We'll be designing an MR space. So that's the edge of my wall. I'll say that's the top. There's my door. All right. Oh yeah. Okay, I see where you're going with this. All right. So, do you see where I put the outline over there, Michael?
Yeah.
All right.
So that's kind of
what my door is. Looks like I messed up a little there. And now, if I was designing for mixed reality, or if I was designing for augmented reality, let's say on like HoloLens, Magic Leap, I could come in here and do headset simulation. So now, here's what I see for HoloLens 2. I don't get to see everything. I could just crop into what's in AR, which is kind of interesting. But for now, let's not do that.
So we're gonna do an example here. So let's set some rules. Let's say it's, I don't know, 10 points, 100 points if you get it onto the outer target.
So you're gonna make different. I see. So you'll make different targets for each of those.
Yeah. On 2, there'll be 100 points. 3, it'll be 100.
All right. So what Michael's doing
there is Anais coming up with a nice suggestion. What about coins as target, or maybe like as a reward? Maybe it's not a point.
Yeah. So
what do you think?
That's a great idea, and we can do it. We can iterate. So for now, I'm just going to get these stages set up. So the feature we really want to show you, what's important here, is the interactivity system. So I'm going to get 250, and then we can have coins fly out. You know what we'll do? We'll have coins fly out if you get the bullseye.
It looks like Paul is working on coins.
Yeah,
am I correct, Paul?
That's great.
All right. So
by the way, I've got Garrett is asking, hey, are you both using a Quest Pro headset? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Both Quest Pro.
Great question, Garrett.
You're not messing around. All right, here's a nice little coin. It's a little thick, but that's okay. Looks kind of like a poker chip. I need to add some shine to it. Let's add a little.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start hooking up the interactivity.
All right.
So what Paul can,
but I should
share my screen.
I should show that, Michael, because it's kind of important for people to be able to see
how it works, right? I can also share my screen if we want. I know we said that might be much, but
yeah, we could try that. Let me just finish this coin, and then I'll show what the interactivity thing looks like.
Cool.
So meanwhile, we got also Jeff joining us from the Netherlands. Hello, goedenavond, Jeff. I'm also from nearby. Nice to have you here. And Harold is suggesting, what about a ShapesXR coin? Well, let's give them a break to the guys. I think there is too much information.
I'll pass.
That is a great idea, Harold.
why you guys, it's yes and. This is a brainstorm.
Okay, fine. ShapesXR coin.
Okay, good.
It's the S.
Look what we get.
All right. Now we got coins. Michael.
Oh, what you got there for me? Ooh, okay. So let's say how about 100 is gives 1 point. So we'll duplicate this one here and we'll go back. So once you hit 100, it'll burst into points.
Okay.
And by the way, for anybody joining in, what you guys are seeing is Paul and Michael, Paul, our head of design, and Paul, our senior XR designer, working in from 2 different locations. I believe, Michael, you are in Spain, right? Am I correct? And
Yep.
Paul, you are in the US. And now with mixed reality, what we are seeing is the screen from Paul. And of course, being in mixed reality, it means that you can see still the other person that is in your environment, but that other person cannot see exactly your own environment. So you can still create around it and be able to do design.
Yeah.
So
what I'm doing right now is making an image. So I'm gonna just show what it would look like to set up one of these targets, so that when I click the target, it'll go to another frame. So let me show you that. So interactivity. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm kind of far from the microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we've got this new interactivity.
Paul, can I hold you on for a second? So first,
Yeah.
can you show the stage first? I think that gives background to people that might not know about it, right?
So there's multiple stages. So on frame 1 or stage 1, there's all these targets. Stage 2, there's the outcome. I hit the bullseye. Hooray! I went to 8. Stage 3. So we've got this little animation. So I can just walk through all these states showing the coin come out, and now what I need to do is hook those up to behaviors. Did that get you what you needed, Gab?
Yep.
Right.
Some needed background. Thanks, Paul.
A new interaction, and I say on click, and now I think.
Let's I'll ungroup it.
Ungroup that. There you go. Thank you, Michael. So
it's no, that's for the outer one.
Oh, that's the outer one. Okay, so if I hit the outer one, then I want to go to stage 2, and there's this nice little preview, so I can see what stage I'm going to. So, okay, so I'm going to go to stage 2, and then on stage 2, I got 100 points, and now I want to add a little bit of animation. So we've got hover triggers, click triggers, and delay triggers. Delay triggers are allow us to connect frames just over time. So if I wanted to show, after 0.2 seconds, or stage free, then I'll do it again, and I'm just going on my left hand. I'm just going between stages. So I'm on stage 4, and I want to go to stage 5 after a delay. If I'm on stage 5, now I say add a delay, go to stage 6, and then I'm on stage 6. After delay, go to stage 7. Okay, so now
and then after 6, go back to 1.
Okay, after 6, go back to 1.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Now I think I'm not at 100% scale. I just realized. So I'm going to just make sure that our viewpoint is in the right spot before I hit play. Because the viewpoint should be more or less where I want this to start, unless I'm in world scale mode. All right, so that should do it. Okay, so now I'm going to go into interactivity mode. I'm going to go back to stage 1, and I'm going to hit play. Okay, so here's my target. When I click my target, it should work. Hooray! So now I realize, that last frame, I don't get to see my reward enough. So I actually want to add a longer delay on that last frame. So on that last frame, we'll take 1 second, or maybe, yeah, we'll just try 1 second. I could type this in if I wanted to get exact. And then we'll see if that looks any better. All right, let's hit play. So I click it, and out it comes. Hooray! That's awesome.
And
Nice.
now I'm gonna start hooking up the other ones.
So I want to be honest here. The coin idea was probably the best idea of all. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid one.
I mean, yeah, thank you. Thank you to the chat.
Anais actually has another idea, I think. Subtract point if you miss the targets. Potentially, you could also have another clicking on something that is around it. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have the whole background be a target.
Right.
So yeah, try hitting the outer rim.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
Oh, you got it hooked up already?
Yep.
Oh, dude. Okay, so so if I hit the outer rim, I get 100. If I hit the inner rim, I get 250. Nice. All right, but the coins,
If you hit the
By the way,
inner
we got
one,
Garrett saying, this is so cool. Thanks for sharing, guys. Michael, Paul, we'll see you on the show.
Is that Garrett? Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Now, if I scan my room here using our room scale mode, then all these things will lock perfectly to this space. And when I hit play, they won't be jumping around like we're seeing here. Could show that real quick, but let's not. That's fine. All right, so Michael, you're getting fancy. You've got 500. That's the bullseye. Gotcha.
Yep. So yeah, now if I go to the start, if I shoot the outside, it's 100.
Yeah.
If I shoot the middle one, it's 250. And if I shoot the middle, it's 500.
Perfect. Yep, that worked. And we could hook up more animations to that. So 2-3 coins come out for the bullseye. And we could also set up like a looping system at the beginning where, maybe these targets only come up for a second. Actually, I want to really quick show a kind of crazy version of this that I made for a tunnel, like an art piece that was in this bike tunnel near my house. You want to jump in there with me, Michael?
Let's do it.
All right.
Drop me a space link.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This is a little dangerous, but why not?
I can remove it. I can remove it from the stream. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. I'm just like, do we really?
We have some proprietary secret from Paul.
Yeah. Okay, you can come back. So on frame 1, there's this thing I was calling Squidlandia.
By the way, we got Tiffany. Is this the octopus one? This is already famous.
The octopus one.
It's already famous. Yes, it is. And I'm calling it Squidlandia. So one cool thing with, sort of like a metaverse feature is being able to link to other shape spaces from spaces. So in this space, I could have as many of these links as I want. And these links are like these cool little 3D portals. As I look into it, you can see a little preview of what the space is. So, Michael, why don't we both just click on this and we'll see if it works. We just launched the update today, and I made this before the update came out. But hopefully it'll be all good. You guys still seeing this?
Yeah, wait a second. There was a problem a sec. There was an audio problem. I think it was from my side.
I heard him.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm gonna sit down and do this one so I can charge. Because that's the one issue with the Quest Pro is the battery's a little, sketchy.
Finicky.
Finicky. That's a good word. Okay, so here's a scene. I'll just kind of walk through the scene and give you a little behind the scenes of how this works. But so first of all, I went to this bike tunnel, and using Sketchfab, I just walked through the tunnel, and it just automatically took a picture every once in a while. I didn't even have to like look left and right. Or did I say Sketchfab? Google Polycam. There we go, Polycam. So yeah, I was just using Polycam on my phone, and I was walking down this. And then when I got home, it created this 3D model for me, and I was able just to bring it straight in to Shapes. And I also made this funny little environment out here. So when you look outside of the tunnel, you can see, oh, there's like a whole world out there. And then inspired by this artwork, I came in here and started building little creatures to shoot. And it's basically the same thing that Michael and I were just working on. There's, each one of these little frames has a different trigger on it. So like this little squid runs down the hallway, and Michael, are you still there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can see that like there's
you can make me an editor, by the way.
Oh yeah. I'll make you an editor, fine. Just don't mess everything up.
Fair enough. Nope, that's
what? Did I not?
You have to make me personally an editor.
I thought I did. Oh, I don't want everybody to be an editor. I just want to be an editor.
Oh, thanks, Paul. I appreciate that.
Yeah, anytime, buddy. All right, so here you can see if I click this little guy, the head, it'll go to frame 27. If I don't, it's going to go to the next frame, frame 17. Frame 27 has the kind of our version of coins in here. This cool little thing that goes down the wall or the hallway, the tunnel, and gives you a little bang for your buck when you click. So anyway, that's sort of how we constructed this. And these guys, I don't think a lot of people know this, but these tentacles, I was able just to create. I gotta turn off.
Started adding speed lines to your animation.
Oh yes, thank you. These tentacles, I was just able to create just by doing a single stroke. So I would start here. Oops, let me switch that to more transparent or more opaque. I would start here, and then while I'm drawing, I can adjust the thickness of this just by using changing the analog stick. So I can go bigger. So if I do the control stick on my right hand, right and left.
So who knew? Maybe the question to the audience: who knew this trick?
So that's how I was able to make these. I first animated this guy going down the scene, and then afterwards I tried to do some, kind of keyframe animation to get the tentacles to kind of work together. Ooh, I like that, Michael. I see what you're doing. All right, now I'm glad I made you an editor. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like when I test this thing out. So I hit play, I didn't start from the beginning. Let me go back and start from the beginning.
I found a gun, Paul.
You did?
I did.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? Isn't that great?
I like it. Here, let go. I want it.
One sec. Let me put it on the stage.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty cool. Is that from Sketchfab?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, guys. I mean, I think GLTF import it's a game changer.
So I'm just going to put this on the ground next to this bottle. I don't think we'll be able to actually attach that to my hand, but I like the look of that. Okay, so now I'm going to hit play. So I hooked up a trigger here. So when I click play, it goes to the next frame. On this frame, here's a new feature, brand new.
Woo! New feature alert.
So you can record yourself as an avatar in the space with audio, with facial tracking, and it'll play back. Now here I'm using it as like, you know, a cutscene almost, but most of the time we're using it as a as like a comment system. So if somebody else isn't in the space for you to give a message to, you can just leave yourself as a message in the space. But here, I don't know, let me see if you can, I'll turn myself up. And then run away. Okay, I gotta go. Anyway, I'm just doing like a little intro for the game, saying like, you know, I lost the worm. He went.
So let me repeat this for people, because you know there's so much happening. So what happens is that you can record your voice and your avatar movement and then put it anywhere. I did it either in a VR scene, or since of course ShapesXR support fully mixed reality, you could have that same thing playing potentially in mixed reality on your own environment. Right. Yeah. So, and this is something that is possible right now with ShapesXR. So you can check it on the store. And all these features that they are seeing, that Paul and Michael are seeing, are in the preview, right? So are in a preview, so you can get all the opportunity to test it, play it out with it, create cool things, and indeed just have fun and create amazing designs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's like kind of the game intro, and then I hit X, and then okay. Oh, there's a guy. I missed him. Oh, now that guy. Oh, I missed him again. I'm not very good at this. I need to like up my game. Okay, let's see if I can shoot that guy. I got him. Oh, now this guy. So I made a little game loop, basically just 3 bad guys. That if I, you know, if I click them, it'll go to the win, and if I don't click anything, it will go to he captures me. And oh no, now I have to restart. Yeah, so that's the game. And
yeah, and let me answer some question, Paul. Sorry, Peter is asking, preview is it available now? Yes, right now.
Yes, sir.
Download it. Interactivity,
yes, sir.
Figma import, Holo Notes, man.
It's all
it's crazy.
Yeah, let's show how to record a note as well.
Sure.
Fair point. Yeah. And maybe can I also, there was also Tiffany sharing a comment. Every time you add more feature like this, the more it blows my mind. This is amazing for making tutorials or digital portfolio and for communicating with teams in other time zones. Exactly, Tiffany.
Oh my God, exactly. Tiffany, I appreciate you so much. You get it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's say that I was not available here to give feedback, or maybe or Michael wasn't here at the same time. Michael, is looking really funny right now.
Cool, Ma.
You're not looking at it. I think your eyes are not tracking.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm on my computer. Hello. Is that better?
Yeah, no, yeah, that was like what away from keyboard looks like in VR, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. So there's this Holo Notes section. And let's see, I'm just going to bring myself to 100 scale here. So the way it works is there's already a Holo Note on stage 2, but I'm going to add them to stage 1. So I click plus. First, it gives me this little view, like where do we want this to be viewed from? So I'll grab this and I'll get a nice little preview. And I think I want it to be viewed from right over here, kind of 3/4 view. Well, let's see. It actually looks better from this side. So then I'm going to leave that there. So when the viewer views this Holo Note, they'll be teleported into that spot. And then maybe a little closer. Sorry, this is the thing. Like you can iterate very quickly in VR just because you can see what you are going to get.
See what you're doing.
I'm going to scale myself down. So as you can see in here, I'm tiny. And now I can kind of walk around this interface and talk about it. So I'm going to unplug my headset so I don't get leashed here. So then I hit record and recording. And so now I can look over here and kind of see what I look like and say, oh, hey, Michael, this menu is so great. This squid, I think it could be bigger. This guy could be smaller. I don't know. I can point to things. I can give notes without me having to say like, oh, move the main menu, move this top, text up. I can just say like, okay, I want this to go up like right here, we can just talk, spatially about this stuff. And then now if I hit stop, it'll give me a nice little icon. And now I can place this as a comment on here. And then when the viewer clicks it, I'm just going to make sure I have auto teleport on. Yeah. They should teleport to that spot and be able to see me give feedback about that. Let me turn this up so you can kind of hear.
This is great because, like, for example, I live in Barcelona. Shout out to anyone in the chat from Barcelona. And Paul's in Seattle. So, like, we are in very different time zones. And so, like, it's really nice, when Paul can leave feedback while I'm asleep. Then I come back and Paul, like I get virtual Paul telling me stuff. Before it's like you leave text notes trying to explain a spatial thing, and it's like it's not really it, Chief, right? Like this is a lot better because you can point at stuff. You can I like what Peter said, where it's like a virtual art director.
Yeah, like this moment right here where I just was saying, like, move it this far up. Like that's some good spatial communication right there.
I mean, I still think that it's crazy that there is a bar that you can move back and forth, and you have you can record the yeah. I don't know. It seems straightforward, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, I can just walk through my design, or like I did, for this scene.
Yeah.
Record it.
And by the way, sorry, there was Peter Job saying virtual hovering art director. Is that a joke with Hoover, or is that a pun there, Peter?
Yeah, Hoover is hovering.
Yeah,
art director. Yeah, we have we're planning with this system to like update our tutorial or part of our tutorial system, where our instructor Jeremy would be able to like instruct instead of videos through Hollow Notes. So we've been calling him Meta Jeremy because we want to like encapsulate all of his amazing teaching skills into the tool.
Yeah. So we got more people joining from Michigan. Kenny, hi Kenny, Hong, nice to have you. We also got someone saying goodbye. Hi Jens. Great to have you here for this short demo. Have a great day as well. And don't forget to try out ShapesXR and the latest feature. We do have one other hot thing that we would like to show, right? Meanwhile, we also have free kill.
John, what's up? Hey. This is a previous colleague of mine from Info.
Nice. Hi, Fregil. Nice to have you here. Johan or John.
Juan.
Okay.
Juan.
Nice. Nice to have you.
Check the chat. I haven't been looking at it.
Don't worry. I think I should manage.
Yeah.
Focus on design.
All right. So, Mike, what you doing there?
I'm playing your game. This is actually really fun.
Okay.
I got so many points. Now I just yeah.
So yeah, one thing that we don't have right now is the ability to like, while someone's in play mode, to be able to like follow them. But
that's coming.
Yeah, we are working on a feature called sync, where it just syncs the frames that you're on. So you don't have to be in presentation mode, but if you're in sync mode, if one person moves to another frame, it'll just move everybody. So like that would totally work there if we were in sync mode.
Right. And one last feature I think we want to show you.
Oh wait, Figma?
Yeah. So check this out.
I still want to see it actually.
Yeah, so we got put on the background so you can see it. So let's say you've got some 2D UI. And this is a frame that I have in Figma. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe I'm going to log into Figma because I'm on a new computer.
Screen, Michael.
Yep, one sec. I gotta open that up.
Sorry.
Let me add my Shapes account. Sorry, y'all. I'm on a new PC.
Yeah.
So okay, so I'm gonna open up the file for this, and then share my screen into the StreamYard. So I'm going to present, share screen, share. Okay,
and Gabriel, I'll just keep my view still going, so feel free to like VJ this thing to.
Yep. I'm gonna remove it, and I think we are now the three of us live, and I can add Michael to the stream.
So we
As
have that
such.
Figma design. Let's say I'm like, all right, I think I want this to have a title. So we're gonna say my AR map. And we're gonna make it all big.
I think you should still show my view so you can see.
Yeah. Show Paul's view, because then what Paul can do is he can refresh the Figma asset.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think if Paul refreshes it now.
Oh wait, I haven't done this yet.
So, by the way, let me do one thing. Let me explain it for people. So you see now there is a map without any writing, any title, right? Now, Paul is doing the update based on what was the change that Michael made in Figma that you now guys can see here on the stream with this big AR map title. So now, if I go back to Paul,
it worked.
And here you go, live.
Hey.
This is the first time I've seen that work. I mean, not that, but I've never tried to do it before. So
confidence.
We finished it recently.
Yeah, we shipped it this morning.
But yeah, for example, Paul might then tell me, be like, I think the text should be bold, and then I'll make the text bold, and then Paul just hits refresh again, and he sees it.
I'm gonna increase render quality.
Yeah. Ooh, this is another hidden feature, y'all.
Hidden feature. If you go to settings, hit increase quality. It will make everything so smooth.
At the cost of performance. So be careful, but everything will, especially textures, will look so good. What we're doing is we'll tell you guys here, a little insider info is we're jacking up the render scale. So 1.5 instead of 1.
So for some scenes, you might not want to have it on, but for a lot of scenes where there's things like images, text, everything's going to look so much smoother.
It might not come through on this live stream, but if you try it in VR, it is a remarkable difference.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
So Paul, another way you can refresh is if you select the asset.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got to go to the background. Okay, so, well, I don't know about this.
It didn't show up in the right place for you. Yeah, so I can also...
Oh, it's on the other side.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, wait, did you have... Wait. Oh, okay. Anyway. Oh, it's always on the other side. We'll work on that. Don't worry about that. Yeah. It's fine. That's how you're supposed to do it.
You click sync asset and booey.
So now
you might have
Michael made a change, made the text bold. And now after refreshing,
it also updates on my end. So now what you can do is you can have, multiple Figma assets. So for example, I might have this dock here. And we might think, this dock could be like, what if we matched it a bit more to the color of the road? So I'm going to go back into my Figma file. I'm going to go back to my files. I'm going to open up my Figma thingy here. And I know it's this one because I remember doing this. So let's say we change the color of this guy over here. Maybe make him a bit more dark. Let's go dark mode. All right. So if Paul refreshes again, or you know what? Actually, I can refresh, and then it'll just refresh for everyone.
Do it.
So I'm going to do that. Dark mode. Sync asset. So this will now become dark.
Just a minute.
In a second. Loading the image.
3, 2,
pressure
is building up.
0, and boom.
Shaboosh. That's
so you can create so you can do all your 2D stuff in Figma and then just bring it into VR super quickly, super easily. And then as you make your updates, it'll update in Shapes.
And I could make a click action on this and say, when I click that, go to another stage, all sorts of stuff.
And by the way, so let's also repeat one thing that was happening here. There is also a toggle in the settings that allow you to improve the visual quality. And the reason for that is because in this way, you can really evaluate the readability of your UI and not deal with that blurry. So everything that you do in 2D, for which Figma is absolutely great, you can bring it in and you can assess readability, scale, positions, and so on, also thanks to the toggle. There you go. Now, you don't see it now in VR.
Do we see any difference?
No, no, you don't. You will see in the headset.
Okay. For me, it looks like I'm not wearing glasses, and now I'm wearing glasses. Like, let's do a reading test. Like, I can't read that Brooklyn.
And this is like really great if you're working with like textures and stuff, because like when you're later going into implementation, you can use, instead of text, you can use Text Mesh Pro assign distance field. So it'll look that way in your production app, but now you can actually preview it in Shapes properly.
Yeah.
And where also you can assess scale, the position. So it's not just how that's going to look on your flat screen, but how that's going to look in the space that you are actually.
And another thing I found important back is just like, what does color look like, right? Like red looks different on my screen. Red looks different on my screen on Figma, but then it looks very different in VR. And so what I can do here, so I'm like, okay, I want to what if we have like a little notification, and we'll have like a red notification, and I'm like, okay, we'll add it here, put that there, let's get them in there. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. And you guys can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I'm moving to the screen now. We see indeed you fumbling with the thing. What about a shadow there, Paul, Michael?
One sec.
Fumbling, good one.
So you fumbling.
So by the way, let's also share some of the feedback. Maddie saying that's amazing, neat, awesome integration, guys. I want to learn to do that. You know what you can do to do that? You can, first of all, download ShapesXR first, and then go to one of the onboarding sessions with our instructor, Jeremy. You can go on our website and pick a time that you want. We have them every week on Monday and Wednesday. And there is also a good question from Kuna. When are the legs coming? Right.
Ask Mark.
Yeah. Who knows?
All right, so there's a nice. Is that a good enough? Is that a good shadow? Is that a good enough shadow for you there?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. I was adding a shadow down here.
So by the way, what is happening?
I'm adding it to an icon, and then I'm going to go into Shapes. Then if we switch
what
to
is happening for everybody is that Michael has changed something in his Figma file, and then let's see if that notification will basically updates in the little panel that is in the in there. Let's see.
He's made a thing. Let's see.
I updated the wrong asset. One sec.
We're talking about that.
There is also a sync all button, so it'll just update all your Figma assets. So yeah, it's re-uploading right now. What it's basically doing is it gathers it from Figma and gets the new PNG and then replaces it, and boom!
Boom!
Now it just shows up in VR.
Beauty. I
It's
didn't see
incredible.
it, but I'm sure it was awesome.
Yeah. Yes. And I have to say, the shadow is what made all the difference. Let's be honest.
Absolutely. I mean, what are we without shadow?
Here's another shout out on the ground.
So, by the way, Paul, what Michael is showing all this magic, what is that you're doing exactly? Because I don't get it.
Okay, so let's just say this is not a very good game here, but maybe let's say this interface is in this real world. So I wanted to ground this interface to make it look like it's well integrated into the scene and into this world. So
what you need, Paul, you need to have a collection of assets like I have.
Let's see what you got.
A whole folder of assets of shadows. So what do we need? Do we need a long one? Need a long shadow? Luckily, I've got my rectangle. Use this guy here, and we bring it in. We use the default transparency mode. We change this to this, and bam, look at that.
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Much the same, but much nicer looking.
And goodbye, poopy shadow, and boom, look at that.
Yeah, so now we've got a nice little shadow. You can see where this thing is in space.
And this really helps for like AR stuff because it really grounds it to the to the base, to the environment that you're building. It'll look it looks even better if, for example, like we put these down. You had them here, for example. Just like, yeah, and we can even make the shadow a little lighter.
Mm-hmm.
But so Paul, what were you trying to tell us? Was there something?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just.
Okay, right. No, I thought that we interrupted a thought, but okay, that's good.
How dare you? No, it's all good. But yeah, then I can just come in here and we can adjust this. I can make the scale that a little different. Make it a little bigger.
It does really look like it's there.
Yeah, right. It really just it sells it. It sells the effect. Yeah, and the fact that then, if this was a shadow from Figma and we wanted to change them, and we had 30 instances of this everywhere, Michael could just go back in Figma and say, update color, update, how faded that is, and then they would update everywhere.
Exactly.
Amazing.
So for anybody that is tuning in that hasn't been watching, what we're seeing right now is Michael and Paul, senior XR designer and the head of design respectively, now in ShapesXR, playing around with the latest update we have pushed today that adds features such as interactivity, Figma integration, something we are seeing right now, and HoloNotes. HoloNotes being the ability to record not only your voice comments, but also your body movements. So, and leave them for your teammates and when in all the situation where nowadays we're working asynchronously. But indeed, I think that interactivity and Figma are really the star, I feel here. It's just going to be completely a different world to create.
So I want to show how we can combine these things together. So let's say I have my Figma thing here, and I'm like, okay, I want to have a 3D button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Figma. So Gab's going to switch over to me.
Here I am.
Okay, so it's like I gotta not have these all in different files, but
we're doing on time.
Yeah.
By the way, we do have a question from Anais. She's asking, can we choose which frames in Figma we want to see in Shapes?
Yes.
Or different pages?
Yeah, so the way it works is, so let's say I have this frame. What I do is I right click and I copy link. And then if I go to shapes.app, I go to imported and I import from Figma. And I just paste the link here. It'll import this Figma file. So it'll show up right here as soon as it does the thing. So that's it. Now every time I update that Figma file, it'll sync. And I can actually, what I can even do is like, so I can click on it here. I can actually sync it from the dashboard. Like I don't have to go back into VR, if someone else, like I can just sync it from here. So I'll go, and so I already have my copy here. This is my AR map no shadow. So let's go, let me duplicate this guy over here. So I'm going to go back to Figma map card. So what I want is I want to add a button that's going to show up. It's going to give me my 3D like a 3D-ified version of this map. So either I could just do it in Figma, for example. So I can maybe make a copy of this guy, and he's going to become a button. We're going to call it. Oh, I'm missing I don't have Helvetica new. That's tragic. It's fine. Oh wait, we can enable local fonts. Okay, we'll do it later. Okay, no, not right now. God damn it. Figma. I'm in the middle of a live demo. I feel like it's like not appreciating that fact.
No. I think respect, guys. Everything went super smooth so far. So keep it on.
So let's do Inter, which is just my favorite font, and we're just gonna say open 3D view. So we can do this a few ways, right? One is I can have it literally just in this frame. So, I place it here.
Richard is saying, mind-blowing. This is great. A lot of idea to test out. And Richard, once
what
you
I can also do,
and you have realized, just post them, share them, tag us, and it will be great to see what you have created.
Yeah, so I can do a couple things. One is this is going to update in my regular one, but I actually want to just have this as a button. So what I do is I literally select this frame here. I copy this link and I go to shapes.app. I go into my Figma imports because I like to stay organized. I paste my Figma link. And now that button itself is also now going to be its own linked asset. So now if we go back into VR, you can see it here. So we can go back into VR. So we're gonna sync the AR map. And actually we're not gonna, we shouldn't have
we probably should do this in another project.
Oh yeah. True. But I'm gonna load in this frame. Cutout mode. And we're gonna put it here. And on stage 45, we're not gonna have, so I can actually use I can use this as a little reference. And I can place this button here. And then what I can do, let me make it a little bigger, put it like that. I'm gonna give it a little bit of alpha transparent. Yeah, it's fine. Cool. So then what Paul can do is he can then make that into an interactable element.
So is this on the background still?
Oh yeah, let me move it.
All right. All right. So I'm going to be on 44. Where are you? You're on 45. This is where sync mode would really help. Okay, there we go.
And I'll put a GLB of the 3Dified version of it on 46.
Okay, and on 45 for now, I'll just break my game.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I think I have a copy of it. No, I do. Okay, so new interaction. So I'll say on click of that guy, go to stage 46, which is the default. It's always the next one, which is nice because most of the time that's what you want to do. And I think, yeah, that's mostly because like when you're setting up these scenes, you typically, set them up as kind of a storyboard, and then you hook them up after, which is quite different than, programming. It's like you make a storyboard and then you bring it to life. You add interactivity to it. Okay, so now if I'm on frame 45, okay, it'll go to 46, and now Michael is making that. So I'm going to hit play, see if it works.
Yeah, we made it real low.
Hooray!
Hey, look at that.
Except the game still is playing. Then you brought a huge version of the map of the actually wait just one second, I'll fix this.
The beauty of the live. So everybody that is joining is actually seeing our own designer playing around with the interactive, with the new interactivity features.
Okay, and I'll leave a little Figma, I'll leave a little hollow note of myself.
Yeah.
Paul can show you guys.
Nice. So now if it opens, hooray. But what I think you accidentally did, Michael, is you left a huge version of the city at life scale in here.
This button's really good over here, which is really nice. Oh, you're right. You're right. I did do that. Oh my God. But this button over here, we could do stuff with this button. And now there's a hollow note. And I'm gonna take the hollow note. And I'm gonna leave the hollow note right next to this guy.
Sweet.
Now Paul can open that hollow note.
Yeah, so now if I'm in interactivity mode,
or any mode.
Yeah, you're right. I can just come in here, and then I can click on this guy and say, what does Michael have to say about this?
Yeah, and he'll be teleported to the exact perspective that I wanted him to view it at, which is really cool.
Yeah. So I can hear him now saying, what are you saying? Button.
Button.
Yeah, basically nailed it. All right, so then, yeah, so we've got interactivity, we've got comments,
So maybe let's wait a second and let's see if there is any last questions for the last 5 minutes for Paul and Michael. Guys, do you have any question regarding this, regarding the future, regarding now, regarding some things you're working on, or any sort of questions for anybody here? Do you guys have anything for Paul or Michael?
You want to get out of VR? If not, I have a dare for us, or a quest, I guess, for Michael and I. How much time do we have? Like 5 minutes?
In theory, yes, but we will continue if we have people still
So
lingering.
here's what I think would look amazing if there's no questions. What if, Michael, you create some button styles, and then maybe have a hover on there, and then we real quick just add 5 instances of those buttons into a space, and then sort of like a mini component system, you update that one button style component and it updates in our whole app.
That'll work.
Yeah, right
now.
Well, let's see. Oh, Matt has a question. What are the key skills aspiring XR designers should focus to start?
Oh, wait. What is this one? Yeah. So got a question from Matt. What are the key skills aspiring XR designers should focus on? Start. Oh yeah, guys.
Let's do that. I think we could do it. We could do the other thing in 5 minutes, but
yeah, no, I think we got questions. So go ahead, guys. Yeah. I mean, we asked for it, right?
All right. What would be the key? So I guess for XR designers, there's kind of thinking spatially, I think, is a really important skill to have. And like you can think in interactions, going from one state to another, but I think it's what's quite difficult, unless you've done it before, is thinking through spatial problems. And these are problems like, you're in VR, you're in AR. How do you let someone know that they're supposed to look somewhere? You don't have control over their where they're looking anymore, because they have the freedom to look anywhere. So what does that mean? What's the pros and cons of like locking something to someone's head versus putting it in space versus like locking it to some part of their body? So I think, anyway, and the best way to practice those skills is just through doing, and trying out a million things. So an app like Shapes can make that go really quickly, because you can just try something out, see if it works. Just try something else, see if that works. So just doing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mike, you have comments?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like, let's say like a lot of XR design is definitely like your core product design, like testing and UX methodologies, like everything still applies, but just like VR adds another dimension of problems. So like I think learning a lot about those problems, like what causes motion sickness, learning about like ergonomics, learning a bit about like interior design. Like I think the number one thing I would like mindset shift for me is like you're no longer making apps, you're making places that people go. And so like a lot of new stuff becomes important. How does it sound? How does it feel to be in a big environment versus a smaller environment? These are like skills that like interior designers think about. These are like, you're kind of, you become a more like multidisciplinary designer. In terms of like resources that can help you learn some of this stuff, for a more technical one, I really recommend the VR book by Jason Gerald. It's a textbook sized book, but like XR has been around for decades. There's been a lot of like academic research done on a lot of like what the UX problems. And so like that's a really good resource. Like it's 600 pages, but if I were to teach like a VR design 101 college course, it would be my textbook. It's just called the VR book.
Thanks, Michael. And then, of course, courses, right? That's also sometimes that's also like an option. For example, we partner with Immersive Insiders. You can absolutely check their offering. It is like outstanding, like from it gets you from XR design. There is a hand interaction. There is also development. So it kind of like gets you covered. So check it out, Immersive Insider. We do have another questions. I saw the new interactivity tutorial is up. Are there other materials available on these new features? So we do
there
have
will be more sample spaces that you can explore.
Yeah.
There'll be more sample spaces that you can explore, so that'll help you like see how they work. I think our docs will probably be updated with just instructions
and if you
and
have
stuff.
If you have questions, just throw them our ways, and then we'll be more than happy to answer. While we also figure out
on the Discord, you should all join our Discord and ask your questions in our Discord. Join our Discord.
Fair point. Very fair point.
Oh wait, one last thing. Join our Discord.
Sorry, I just want to answer the last question from Richard, because he's also asked, can you teleport down to scale on a placed model? For instance, a scale architectural model during a presentation. Do you support animation with imported GLB file? He has lots of questions.
Yeah, he also asked about video import. So video import and supported animations for GLB file is coming at some point. Like, it is on our list of things we want. But a big part of XR design is deciding what prioritization of features. But those are two definitely like things like GLB import probably both of those things are like things like I have recently thought about really wanting. So and then teleporting down to scale on a placed model, you can, like, if the model is 100% scale, when you teleport to 100% scale. So kind of yes.
And there's like, usually the way you want to work in those things is everything is at 100%. So if you bring in a city scale model, bring that in 100%, and as you teleport around, it'll be 100%. But then you can just zoom out if you want to like get your kind of God mode, zoomed out version of it, and you can zoom out, and then you can work at like city, like city scale or like God scale or giant scale. But if what you're trying to show is I have a mini map version of it, and then I'm going to teleport into it, the best thing to do is to have like two frames, one frame with it at 100%, another frame with it at, like 10% or whatever it might be, and then set up a trigger so that when I click it, it goes to the next frame, and then it feels like I go into that.
For interactivity.
Yeah.
Kind of,
or you can also zoom around, but.
Right, but like it just
depends on him for presenting.
So guys, we are at the end of the hour, and I want to thank Michael and Paul for all the creative outbursts, improvisation.
There's one more question from Matt that I wanted to answer.
Sorry, Matt, right?
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Do you have an answer for this? I have an answer for this too.
Hit it, Paul.
Okay, I think it is extremely important to learn UX fundamentals in any space, and like product design. Like a lot of interaction designers and product designers, we're industrial designers to start with. Like that design process, trying to understand what a product is, what the problem is that you're solving, who you're solving it for, and kind of the system of people and product that is like agnostic of medium. Like, so you want to learn that
2D, 3D text needs to be readable. It needs to colors need to be properly contrasting. There are more resources these days on like UX fundamentals in the 2D space, just because like that's the default space. But like a lot of the skills will transfer over.
Totally. So so basic like graphic design skills, which translates a lot of times like visual design if you're looking at specialties, motion design, all that stuff. It's totally agnostic of medium. Like it transfers to all of them. Like for me, I never really learned web design. Like I went right into touch-based, design and pen and gesture-based computing, and I just kind of skipped that. But I learned all like the graphic design stuff, and it transferred straight into there. Then I just Anyway,
it's also important that like when you do XR design that you think differently, right? Like a lot of people, I think like you end up with a lot of like XR has a lot of like 2D flat panels, and sometimes that's the right answer. Like sometimes that 2D flat panel, like sometimes it's okay for like an interface to just be a 2D flat panel. But like I think the beauty of XR is when we start thinking like spatially and like what do these interfaces look like when we use our full body of motion or use the space around us. I mean, this is like what I think Shapes is really good for.
Yep, which is like more
Plug
similar
shapes.
to architectural design and like spatial design.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that was fun.
Awesome, guys.
And to answer Juan's question real quick, we have a web viewer. The interactivity doesn't work in the web viewer yet, but if you just want to share, like, you can share like a link basically to a web viewer. It's like you can like move it around. You can see the stages. It won't have the interactivity, but it's still a way to share it. Like, the best way to experience a prototype is in a VR headset, though.
It is. And I would like to conclude with Matt saying, you guys rock. Thank you so much. And I would like to thank, of course, Paul and Michael. But let's be honest, I think we have to thank an incredible team that has worked like everybody that asked. And I want to also mention the design, development, but also QA. I mean, all those heroes that sometimes go like unmentioned. So thanks, Sinia, thanks, Paulina, for the work, and
Takes a
the
village.
graphic designers, our instructors, everybody that has put so much work into this.
The rest of the design team, Victor and Albert, shout out.
Absolutely, yes. So, and I forgot people, and I am sure. So, but the fact is that I want to thank you, really, you guys, everybody, but most importantly, the biggest thanks that you can give us is go on the store, try Shapes and experiences, send us feedback, and share your own work with other people.
Send it and try it with your friends. We've seen the retention graphs. If you're in it with your friends, you will spend more time in it.
You get addicted. So thank you very much, everybody. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everybody that joined us with us. Stay with us for Shape, for the next webinar, next event, next live session. Join Discord. And
send us
have a great
day. We want to see what you're doing. And we can
please send it to us.
Yeah.
We want it. We want to see it.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.